Our guest for today is Dhruvi Gosrani. With a strong academic foundation, Dhruvi holds dual master's degree in bioanalytical sciences India and fragrance expertise from ISIPCA, France. Her expertise lies in understanding the science behind fragrances while embracing the artistry of perfumery, allowing her to bridge technical knowledge with creative formulation. She extends her expertise as a fragrance consultant at Define Parfum Private Limited, specializing in fragrance evaluation, sensory analysis, and product development. She collaborates with brands to craft exclusive scents and shape distinctive olfactory identities that resonate with brands' narratives and end users. Beyond her professional endeavors, Dhruvi is deeply committed to fostering inclusivity in the fragrance industry. She leads a 2-year diploma program on perfumery funded by CPL Aromas, where she mentors visually impaired students, equipping them with specialized sensory skills and creating new opportunities for them within the world of perfumery. Hey Dhruvi, welcome to the Moody Girl podcast. It's so good to have you here.
I'm so happy as well. Thank you.
And the best part is that you have been such an integral part of making this brand what it is.
Indeed, it almost feels like a baby too. I've seen it grow. So yeah, it really feels.
So we will talk about what the journey was like
I'm
and how
excited.
did you start and where we are today. But before that, tell me how your mood is like today.
Okay. So initially it was quite nervous, but definitely as time passed and I got into my zone of, okay, you know what, let's do this. It's my first time doing this podcast, so but I'm now more confident.
So which perfume, which scent do you relate the most to today?
I relate to Euphoria. So I'm happy to have my first podcast and be all out there. And also because it has ingredients which I love the most.
Like?
So like Fresia, Gardenia, so more of florals.
Okay.
And because of the culture I have been built up from, like we all have, I'm sure, but Mogra, Jasmine, Tuberose is something that's very close to me. And this exact fragrance is all about the floral fusion with the soft woods, and I love it. It's like my go-to thing, a no-brainer thing that I can pick and just wear and leave.
You seem like a floral girl because, with all the flowers that you just named. And let me tell you, I'm on the same page as you.
I can sense that
love-
from
yeah,
your clothing.
yeah. But I love flowers too.
Uh-huh.
But do you have any memory related to flowers and the scent of flowers which makes you love flowers so much? Or what is it?
Absolutely. So, okay. If I'm to go back and look myself traveling through the areas of Dadar where there's like a full market.
Are you a Dadar girl?
I am.
So am
I
I.
am.
Give it up.
Okay. So, I always happen to pass by from there, and then during just around the festival time, there are a lot of these vendors selling Mogra and Jasmines, and so it's like it has always been that I would pass by through those lanes of flower vendors, and I would always wander and forget about the time and pick up tube roses and the gajras way back home, and then I would keep it close to where I sleep. So, and I'd find it so soothing and so relaxing. So definitely it's the white florals. But it comes with a different characteristics which was introduced when one of my friend from France, he happens to be a perfumer, and he identified my personality, and he very aptly happened to blend a perfume for me, which had good florals for sure on the top, but a very creamy soft touch of sandalwood, which also comes from India, and a very smoky and like that sensual feel of cedar woods and some spices. Oh my
Whoa.
god, when he's gifted me that, he mentioned that it was his memory of me, and it was so amazing. I still hold it so close to my heart because it did reflect of how he saw me and how he was able to analyze my personality and relate it to the nationality, like from where I come, like jasmines and sandalwoods and all. So yeah, it's something that boosts the confidence within me. So today, in fact, I'm wearing that fragrance.
wow.
So, yeah.
It just sounds so romantic and so dreamy because, I mean, imagine somebody going to that lens to curate a scent which
Yeah.
resembles your personality. It's
Exactly.
not something he smelt on you, it's something that he curated from
Yeah,
his perception.
he imagined.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that? You can actually do that?
Yeah, yeah. So, in fact, all the range of Moody Girl has come from that inspiration where we try and capture different moods. So, if I was to put more highlight on per variant, then Zealous was something to capture the bubbly mood, and Euphoria for the happy mood, as I mentioned, and Zest was something like a boss mode on, like your everyday thing for work, and Tranquil was to calm you down very well and have your me space. And Sensual was, oh my, it was something that I pushed the development manager that, you know what, this is something that we should definitely go for, and I vouched for it because it had a very nice spicy notes along with woody and some gourmand notes to it, which is more unisex and not ideally just for women. And we wanted to capture the sensual feel. So yeah, I feel all the variants that we curated for Moody Girl, or the entire brand story we built for Moody Girl, was for the women to own their each mood and the way they feel. So that was the entire idea behind it.
Wow, I have so many questions after this. It's not even funny. But okay, let's start from the start. Let's start from the beginning. What is a perfumer and what inspired to be one?
So a perfumer is one who is able to pick and imagine one to be a chef of how they would use their spices. Like would be your dhana masala and all those spices
Yeah.
to build something very flavorful. Likewise, a perfumer is the one who blends the raw materials to give sense to what you smell on the everyday basis. So it's more like a chemistry plus art and science, all amalgamation of things, and putting it as like a potion that one can wear and speak about their personality.
So, you know what happens at times I've realized is a scent might smell very different on one person and then very different on the other. Is it
Yes.
true?
It is to some extent. May not be as relevant for top notes because top notes is something that would just like evaporate pretty quick, so you would not realize. But when it settles on your skin, it blends more with your skin chemistry, like how your own skin smells like.
Okay.
Which, if I was to highlight more on the biology bit, it is more to do with how you're moisturized your skin, or how your skin pH is like, or the temperature of your skin, and that decides the evaporation rate of your perfumes, and that's how it smells different for each individual. But that's more relevant for the base notes and the middle notes.
Okay, I lost you there. What is base notes? What is middle notes?
Oh my
what is
god,
top
I'm
notes?
so sorry for using so many
Yes.
jargons. I guess I have.
Let's rewind a bit.
Yes, for sure. So basically, your top, middle, base notes is your pyramid structure for your fragrance that we have to maintain when we are drawing the composition of a perfume. And top notes is something that the first whiff you get when you spray, be it on your body or when you're testing out there in the malls and so. Middle notes is something as it evolves. So like how you test your wine, you like kind of swirl, you smell, and then you take a gulp of it, and then it kind of goes down your
Yeah.
intestine. That's how you can consider your
Middle
top, middle, base notes to be like.
Okay.
Or you can consider it like a process of falling in love. So top notes is something that's more of your initial conversation. It's your first impression that you build for yourself. Middle note is the flirty comfort zone, and base note is where you actually come together to be in love and decide to be together types.
Wow. So are you telling me that every perfume, every scent has all the three notes?
Yes, it is mandatory to have all the three notes.
Okay. And but do they smell different? Do they smell the same?
The notes
Yeah,
transition,
yeah.
they absolutely smell different because it's more to do with your evaporation rate or how it diffuses. So citrus is something which is more lighter in the molecule terms. Again, pardon my jargons or chemistry out
yeah.
here.
Yeah. It's going to take a
But
while for me.
that's the beauty about perfumery. You see, it has art plus it has like you have a lot of imagination which goes along, but then when you're actually in the process of blending, you need to also take a lot of chemistry into account, ideally, of how the two fragrances are going to merge and smell like. And so yeah, they do smell different at each phase. So every raw material is categorized based on their evaporation rate, if it's top, middle, or base. So it's more about the lighter the molecule, the faster it flies. So you get it first to your nose to detect.
So basically, on that note, from your experience, tell me which are two such scents which a person like me can never imagine would go together, but they have gone together beautifully.
A very recent thing that I imagine that would really go well is your smoky vanilla feel with the leather notes. It's something that I feel gives you a very like a bubbly feel, but like a bold touch or twist to it with the finest leather feel. So giving the elegance out and
Yeah.
polishing it. So I feel that is something that would really, really go well
It's
as a
really giving.
combination.
It's really giving me the rich gentleman sitting at a bar having scotch feels for some reason.
I mean, yeah, so you were imagining it more on for the male front. I imagine this more for the female front.
Oh, yeah,
you
it can go either way, I
So it's just an experimentation where you can have like a layering of your zealous with your sensual notes. Bang on. Trust me.
Okay, wow. So now, if somebody, say somebody wants to go buy a new perfume,
Uh-huh.
we usually go with, oh, I like this scent, I like this
Yeah.
one. But if somebody wants to actually get something which defines what they are as a
Yeah.
personality, what are the things they can consider while picking up
Firstly, they shouldn't be like a impulsive buyer, seeing at the packaging or like the discounts, or or for that matter, just smelling the top notes, taking a whiff and oh my god, it smells good, or smelling something on your friend and then buying. No, you should give it a time. It's like an entire process where you spray, you take a stroll around in the mall, you see how it settles on your skin, you timely monitor of smelling it. Are you liking it? Is it giving you a happy feel? I mean, if that's how I can put it. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that is it. Like, you take your time to decide on what you want to pick. Don't get influenced is the best
Okay.
thing. And the most important thing, please read the ingredients mentioned below, the claims mentioned below, because I feel it's really, really important. Indian market or Indian consumers are getting into the habit. I see Gen Zs doing that more often, but it's a good practice to inculcate on, to just see the label and then pick perfumes. Most of the perfumes out there have phthalates and certain carcinogenic elements, which on the longer run could be like your endocrine disruptors, could affect your health on the longer run. And hence it is important to have that. I mean, to have non-carcinogenic perfumes.
So then, when we're looking at ingredients, what exactly are we looking at to not have in a perfume so that they don't harm our health?
Well, phthalates is something I learned, which is also banned abroad.
Okay.
Yeah, from my studies out there and from the work experience that I've got so far, one thing I learned was phthalate is a big no to use on. While Indian consumers are still at the phase where they are slowly and steadily realizing that. And I really appreciate Moody Girl as a brand to come up with that USP to have like a non-phthalate perfumes out there. Uh, where they did not prioritize scent to be at par, like you smelling good, but they also took a one step ahead, where they also, you want like a clean conscious chemistry to what you're layering on.
So, at times, I mean, the elements that you mentioned, that's given on the ingredients, right?
Yeah.
But then at times you buy perfumes
Yeah.
and then they tend to give you headaches and allergies and all those things. So, in that aspect, How do you choose a perfume? I mean, what do you know will go with your body type, what won't, what will suit you?
That's exactly where I feel brands lately have been coming up with a discovery set for you to have like a small test trial before you go and buy a full size pack. Having headaches or allergies is more like your individual body type. So it's not a particular raw material to pinpoint on that, hey, you need to avoid this. It's something of how one can handle a spice. It's difficult to
Yeah.
mention that. Similarly, as of perfumes, you need to try and be more aware. Like, try different genres of perfume and not stick around to one. Have more openness to using different palettes of smells. So maybe for you to know what suits your personality or your if to not create any allergies, you go for a discovery set and test on yourself. Take time.
So you've been intrinsically involved in the process of making Moody Girl the brand that it is. I want to know from you what made you join the organization firstly, and how was your journey like?
Okay, so when I just got back from Turkey, I had the team from Moody Girl who reached out to me. They wanted some they wanted some advice on picking up the fragrances or curating the fragrances that would sit best for the concept they had in their mind. I personally joined Moody Girl because my wavelength with the team matched. They didn't want to get lost in the crowd and just have something launched as a category. They really wanted to have things planned stepwise and making sure that it is for the consumers. We need to make sure that everything that we have put in as an ingredient, make sure that it is adding value to their wardrobe and for what they are wearing.
Yeah.
There's one thing that really made me like, you know what, for what I've learned from there, I can bring in those concepts and that would be really much adaptable out here. So there's one reason why I felt, and also because they wanted to launch something for women. So I was like, okay, that seems so great because India, as such, when rather Moody Girl got into this category, it was more dominant on having fragrance brands for men. But with Moody Girl's arrival, I felt that okay, now it's more focusing on women, and not just focusing for perfumes for women to wear on, but to own their own, like their mood, what
Yeah.
they're feeling like, to be all out there, to be confident. That was another reason why I felt like, you know what, this is what I want to do.
And when you look at it or when you just read the taglines for Moody Girl and even the names of all the scents,
Yeah.
you realize how it is so empowering. Basically, the best part, what I loved about it is how it is asking you to own all the moods that you have, whatever be it,
Yeah.
and just empowers yourself to do better.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part. Was that also the idea when y'all were curating a scent for it?
Absolutely, absolutely. With each ingredient that we picked on, we made sure that it has, or we packed up with something with a lot of trials among ourselves, among a lot of women that we daily meet across. And we try to evoke that kind of a feeling. It's not that we named randomly that, hey, you know what, this is something that we can just put for calm, but we packed up that with a lot of research in terms of evaluating and making sure that we have best percentages to go ahead with, such that it's not very heady, it's not something that becomes too out there and too loud for one to put on, and also tested among a lot of women to make sure that it's evoking that kind of a feeling that we feel that it is, so it was not our individual decision to make when we launched this. We did involve a lot of women to come join hands with and understand, and yeah, so that's how we have all these moods.
So, Moody Girl is a brand which stresses so much on being non-carcinogenic. What exactly is it and why is it important?
Oh, it's important merely because non-carcinogenic comes from using phthalates into our daily life, and a majority of the perfumes I noticed they do have phthalates inside it to some extent. So, which is why we wanted to bring that as a USP for the brand. where we make sure that we are not incorporating any of the components that could probably be a carcinogenic and have like a carcinogenic effect on your body in the longer run. So we definitely made sure at each process, right from while curating the fragrances to also doing the conversion formulations, at each point we made sure. We also got a lot of testings done to, I mean, we also do a lot of batch wise testing to make sure that we don't have phthalates incorporated at all.
Also, when you wear a perfume, you want it to last 24 hours. I mean, long lasting is the first thing that you're looking at. There's so many scents that I've come across which maybe they smell like heaven. You know, the moment you spray it on,
Yeah.
you're like, wow. And you just zap to some heavenly place. But in an hour, they're just gone. and you smell like how you would in a Mumbai local train. So, how does Moody Girl maintain 24-hour longevity?
That's like every second person I've come across complaining about this, that यार perfume टिकता क्यों नहीं है, हमको ऐसा perfume. And mind you, that's Indian consumer and Indian climate also. Most of the Indian consumers, like मैं आने से पहले ना मेरा perfume लोगों को समझ में आना चाहिए. Like you know
Exactly.
that is the kind of aura they want to create. But Indian climate is such that which doesn't allow a lot of brands to sustain, or a lot of perfumes to sustain for that long. With Moody Girl, one thing that I tried to was while formulation or while curating, we made sure that we have raw materials incorporated in a way that it lasts much longer on the base. So we made sure that we have certain naturals and amber notes which will make sure that it sticks around to your skin. Other best thing I feel as a consumer one should do is have your skin prepped quite well before you put a perfume on, because a perfume is not just to mask your malodor, it's something that you wear out,
Yeah.
like how you would accessorize yourself. So that consider perfume as you accessorizing yourself. It's an invisible accessory apparently. So moisturize it well for the molecules and the chemistry to sit in well on your skin. It will hold your fragrance for a longer time. That's a best way, and definitely Moody Girl, as the way it's formulated, it does last for 24 hours.
Wow, that's one of those qualities for which I would go and buy a perfume. Now, when the scents are so good, I think that's just an added advantage to it all. But I want to ask you the age-old question. Age-old question ये है कि अंडा पहले आया कि मुर्गी पहले आई? वैसे scent पहले आया कि नाम पहले आया?
ओके, कॉन्सेप्ट पहले आया कि क्या करना है, एक आइडिएशन दिमाग में था कि यू नो वी वांट टू हाईलाइट मूड्स एंड ये वो. बट फिर हम दोनों चीज़ साइमल्टेनियसली किए, जहाँ पे हमने सेंट को भी क्यूरेट किया एंड टेस्ट किया लोगों के साथ, एंड लोगों का ही इनपुट्स लिया कि ये फ्रेग्रेंस तुमको क्या फील दे रहा है. सो वी डिडंट वांट टू गो एंड यू नो हैव दैट परसेप्शन बिल्ट इन देयर माइंड कि अच्छा ये इसके लिए है, आपको लग रहा है क्या. वी रैदर वेंट विद द अप्रोच कि आप ये स्मेल करो, आपको क्या लग रहा है. सो आई गेस इट्स मोर कमिंग फ्रॉम द कंज्यूमर्स इटसेल्फ कि हमको ना ये बहुत लाइक हैप्पी ऐसा एस वाला वाइब दे रहा है. सो दैट then we got more on the marketing front to research that what is the app name that we can give, and that's how we came across Euphoria
Wow, and
and the other brand names for sure.
and the
Many
names actually are a personification of what the scent is. So I mean that's
we wanted to keep
Good for you all.
more easy for people to understand also. So we didn't want to complicate a lot giving like those fancy names, and we were like, you know, we'll just be very direct with our communication for
Yeah.
what the scent is like. Yeah.
So, just like you've simplified the scents for people and the names, I want you to simplify certain myths that people might have. There's
This
a
is gonna be fun.
yeah, there's a segment that we do. It's called Myth versus Fact. I'm going to tell you a few myths.
Yeah.
You have to either bust the myth or tell us whether it actually is a myth. Okay. First one is perfume and deodorant are the same thing.
No, guys, no, absolutely not.
What's the difference?
Never mistake. I mean, the difference is the base. Perfumes have alcohol; it's more in the sprayable form, while your deodorants are in the gas form. perfumes a lot of people here, and what I also advise to put it on clothing than on your skin, so the evaporation rate is more controlled, while deodorants is for your body. So that's one of the major two difference that I would like to highlight. And from price point of view also, people do not incline towards buying deodorants because it's much more cheaper.
Yeah.
But having said that, it doesn't give the effect as perfume would do.
Okay, myth number 2, storing perfumes in fridge preserves it.
Not necessarily. Ideally, you should be storing in a cool and dry place. It need not be as as low temperatures as in the fridge. What's more important is that you don't leave it exposed to the sunlight directly. That can cause alterations in the chemistry of the perfume, and it either can give out malodor or change in coloration. So it's more preferred to stay keep in a dark place at room temperature. So it's a myth.
Okay. Perfume is for women and cologne is for men.
No, guys, perfume is something that everyone can wear. You have it for women, you have it for men, you have it for unisex people, like everyone. So no, that's definitely a myth.
So then what is the difference between perfume and cologne?
Ideally, cologne is something which is very, very at a lesser concentration, something that you can mix in your water, like a bathing water, and feel fresh with.
Okay.
And perfume is something definitely that you can spray. So it's a difference in the concentration of the fragrance oil, the percentage of fragrance oil that one contains.
Strong scents last longer than lighter notes.
Yes, I would agree to that. But the point out here is that lighter notes is something which kind of evaporates quickly, and hence the notes that have, or the fragrances that have stronger notes or heavy notes, stay back for
Okay.
a long time.
Rubbing wrists together ruins the perfume.
Don't do that. I beg, don't do that.
Really?
मत करो. Yes. वो डिसरप्ट करता है तुम्हारे एंटायर फ्रेग्रेंस कंपोजिशन को, और फॉर दैट मैटर द मॉलिक्यूल्स आर मोर डिस्ट्रप्टेड, सो द टॉप नोट्स काइंड ऑफ गेट बैड.
You know how usually in movies how you see, they
can
spray
just
a
lick
perfume, they do this,
that
and they do this. Yeah.
Don't.
So that's all just drama, that is it.
It's more like a marketing or way to show of how, but it's more like you always put it on your pulse points.
Okay.
And clothes, and on your cloth as
So
well.
then if I had to ask you, what is the correct way of applying perfume?
Well, you have to put it on your pulse points for sure, which is your wrists, your collarbones, and your elbows, because you're traveling, you're walking, so it gives that kind of a movement. But for the Indian climate, what I also recommend is that you put it on your cloth as well to some extent. It will help you hold the fragrance longer. So it kind of, the molecules get trapped in your fine mesh of your cloth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, perfume and deo, are you supposed to wear them on your body or on the clothes?
Deodorant definitely on your body, not on the cloth, and perfume can be done on both.
All
Yeah.
right. That's
In fact, I'll give you some fact. With Moody Girl, what we did was we went very extensive on the research of trying fragrances. Each variant, once we locked them, we tried on different cloth types. So like cotton, silk,
wow. Okay.
satin. We made sure to see that is it leaving any impression, like a mark on your cloth is
Yeah.
like, because certain cloths naturally
do
tend
that.
to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
spot,
Yeah.
and we didn't want that for our consumers. So we did those kind of a test, how many sprays, and so we defined the entire thing to make sure that before it reaches to our consumers, it's very flawless experience for them. So we definitely didn't want our TGs to come and mention that there's a spot, it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to learn today while I'm talking to you. How to apply a perfume or which scent would suit somebody. But again, adding on to the same path that we're on, which are the biggest perfume mistakes that people make while choosing a perfume or while applying it?
While applying, they go all out there, applying on their hair. No, please don't do that. Although it may give a lot of movement, but because to some extent, your perfume contains alcohol, which can dry your hair.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend to go all out there. Just few spray is enough while putting it on your body and cloth. Other mistake they make is get very influenced with the packaging.
Okay, if on the same lines, if you had to create a scent
Uh-huh.
for a few Bollywood celebs who I name, what would the scent be like? Okay, let's
Okay.
start with Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay, Shah Rukh Khan. For me, he gives me a very romantic, very soft
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
I believe like tranquil is something that I would prefer. But definitely it's on the like it's something for more for women. So I would have a floral touch with a smoky feel to it.
Wow. Okay.
So a very very mild, soft floral, something like tuberose, which has a good sensual feel to it, but a very smoky cedar wood to put
Oh,
it to blend
classy.
with, or like a fine leather feel to it. So it to evoke the manly feel to it, but
Nice.
to give a romantic touch as well.
How about Katrina Kaif?
Oh, she's Katrina Kaif. That's a tricky one. I would say for her, I would go for a very fine, musky, ambery note. I believe she's too sharp, and with her work, I
Yeah.
feel that's my personality for her for sure. And ambery notes and musky notes is something that I feel would really go very well on her.
Okay. Hrithik Roshan.
Oh, the Mr. Bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Okay, he has to be all spicy and sensual. So yeah, I believe the spicy notes is something. But again, not the usual warm spice. I would go for something of cool spice, the peppery feel to it. So adding like just some amount of chaat masala. Nice.
Love it. Love it. Okay. How about Rekha ji?
The vintage. Okay. She is a person who has been very classic, and till date she's been timeless. For her, I feel something on the lines of Rose.
Classic. Classic Rose. Lovely.
Yeah, so definitely something on the lines of Rose with the musk. So it's something that gives the rich feel, I feel.
All right. Last one. Mr. Versatile, Ranveer Singh.
Oh my God, Ranveer Singh. For him, I believe we have to go all out there because
Yeah,
that's
you know,
what
the
his
personality.
personality, right? You can't have usual notes for him.
Yeah.
For I see blending like citrus notes with a very strong woody note and gourmand notes. That's what I feel for him.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's sweet. I see how he is around with Deepika, but I also see his personality with
Yeah.
a very like bubbly, caramelic feel. So I would want to give the nutty feel to the fragrance for
Yeah.
sure. And just to add that whiff on the first impression that he creates, like, you know, I feel his color, the colors he wears pops out. So
Yeah.
that grabs attention. So the citrus feel is something that would definitely go for him.
Something that'll give away. Mala might nahi te sang na. Tell me something I don't know.
I know, right? Yeah, definitely.
All right. So we've spoken about so many scents and elements coming together to form scents. Give me the weirdest ingredient that has been used in a perfume.
You sure you want to hear this?
Okay. Am I sure I want to hear this?
Oh my God, okay. Be prepared, okay?
Okay,
So,
okay.
ambergris is one thing that literally comes from the whale vomit.
What?
Yes. But definitely it gets processed naturally in the water, and
Okay.
it gets solidified, and then it comes to the shore. So it's very very rare and very very expensive. We do have synthetic alternatives for the same, but from the natural front it is the weirdest but the expensive, and smells so good.
Are there any perfumes that use it?
It's not as, I mean, I don't know many Indian brands doing that. In abroad, I'm sure, but very, very niche fragrances can only afford that. It's not
Wow.
something very commercially available per se.
And how does it smell? I mean, if you were to.
If I was to describe ambergris, it's more like your skin scent with just a bit of enhanced layer to it.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's that flawless. Like it's really, really good.
basically it's smooth.
A very sun-kissed skin kind of a feel, if I was to make you imagine, because there's no definite relation, like a thing that I can associate it with for you to imagine or smell reference. However, I imagine, like when I close my eyes and try to imagine how an ambergris would smell like, or I mean I have smelled, but for
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
built upon like a very glazed, sun-kissed skin is what I imagine. Like a very
Wow.
amber feel. The color amber, basically.
I can only imagine. Now that's on my list. That's one thing I want to smell sometime in my life. But why is it that people associate scents with memories?
The sense with memories. Okay, so giving you a bit of background, or as a child, the first thing that you develop is your limbic brain, and that is associated to your emotions and memory. And that's where your olfactive receptors or your olfactive memory is stored, like, limbic nodes, and your connectivity to your nose is with that part of your brain. And a child, as they are born, they recognize mom with the fragrance.
Yeah.
That's how they know that,
Yeah.
touch and feel is one thing. They still don't have a very developed eyesight and all for them to see, but it's through the smell that they recognize. So that's one of the major reason why there are certain scents which literally take back you to a certain era. There was one reason why we wanted Zealous specifically to be in our palette, is because it has that sweet caramelic note.
Yeah.
And for me, it evokes a very, like, the inner child within you, I
Yeah.
feel. And every time we had people to test that, and they felt like that inner kiddiness, like that cheer came from within, that, oh my god, it smells like toffee that I used to have as a kid. So yeah, I mean, that's the entire relation.
So, if somebody was to go back and choose a perfume or scent of their own choice,
Yeah.
can you give us a fun test about how one could do it? What they like, or what would suit them? How would they do it?
A lot of trial and error would go around, I feel, where they will have to be very conscious or take themselves back to the times. For me, how I relate to scent is I would literally sit have my own space to go back and remember the memories from the days. And so the fragrance that I was gifted also had a hunch of things coming from France,
Yeah.
which kind of made me also transport myself there, of the times that I spent during my schooling over there. And so I feel you need your own solitude to be able to understand of what you like and what is the fragrance or what is that one smell that you associate with. So for me, the moment someone mentions jasmine, it's literally like someone, like a lady wearing gajra,
Yeah.
or like a wedding decor,
Yeah.
or passing by the railway stations of Dadar.
Yeah.
So that's how I have my most of my association. But I feel one needs to be really aware from their nose.
Wow, you've actually opened me up to another world. And I think after this, I'm just going to sit and research more about all this. Probably.
Trust me, it's going to be a fun process. It's one of the thing I did with my visually impaired students. So I run like a course for them, like a diploma course, for a perfumery diploma course, to train their nose. They have a very heightened sense. And I was like, you know what, from now on you'll be more aware, not just by sound, but also by the fragrance, with how you pass on, like with every
Right.
shops you pass by from.
So if somebody wants to know your work or, learn more about what you do, perfumery, where can we head?
LinkedIn? I mean, I do post a lot of my work on LinkedIn for sure, but you can always reach out to me directly. Dhruvi Gosrani it is.
And I also have your number, so
Yeah.
I will directly contact you.
Definitely, anytime.
So, any parting words, last words before we end this podcast?
Well, so one thing that please make sure when you go to pick your fragrance, don't be impulsive. Make sure you read all the claims. You compare with different fragrance house or like with different brands you see and make a very conscious decision before you're picking up. And if you're still not sure, we do have the discovery set to experiment from.
Absolutely. Come back to Moody Girl because it has almost all the emotions that you could
Exactly.
feel and something for every emotion. Before we go, last question. You've known me for the last couple of hours. Tell me how you would curate a scent for me.
Do you want me to pick one from the palette of Moody Girl or just for yourself?
One of each.
Okay. For you, I imagine, or from the dress that you're wearing, I imagine Euphoria to be your thing for today.
Okay.
Because of the floral front and the beige color of your dress reminds me of sandalwoods and so. And hence for today, Euphoria is one thing I feel would absolutely go on you.
Okay. I will just pick it up from here and not give it back. Thank you so much for this. But thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. It was
It's my pleasure.
lovely talking to you. And I'm sure I'm going to go back. I have a lot more questions. Probably we'll do a round 2 of this podcast so that once I go, indulge in this new world that if you opened up and come back, ask you more questions and
I
probably
hope
sit
I'm
back
able
again.
to help you.
Oh, it was lovely. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.